Despite all the doom and gloom coming out of the Toronto real estate market, here in Peterborough, things really are quite good. And I'll tell you all about it next. Yes, things are looking not too bad at all here in the Peterborough market. Hi, I'm Geoff White. Welcome to the Geoff White Show. Let's dive, right into the Peterborough Real Estate Price Report and take a look at what's going on here in the city of Peterborough and the county of Peterborough. Getting at it right from the bottom here, we can see the waterfront, 45 units sold this last month. At an average price of $588,000. Our income property area, now this is an interesting story. I haven't talked to anybody personally about this, realtors from Toronto, but I have heard from friends of mine, realtor friends of mine, there are realtors from Toronto who are literally bringing minibus loads of investors to Peterborough to take a look at income properties because things are still a little out of reach in the Toronto market. So there is some pressure on our income property market, multifamily market here in Peterborough. The average price, $401,000, 6 units sold in the month of May. Taking a look at the county, things are starting to calm down out there. Now, interesting to note that if you're a follower of the price report or the Peterborough Real Estate Price Report, in months past, in fact, all reports past, I've always done a 12-month rolling average and just recently have started doing a month-to-month comparison. So that is May 2018 to May 2017, for example. And the other thing that I've done just recently, because the software now allows it, is that I can, when I'm looking at county stuff outside, real estate outside of the city, I can now separate waterfront from homes that are selling, on an acre or 2 acres, that kind of thing, so that the really big waterfront numbers don't affect or skew up the price of county real estate. So here's what you're seeing. Compared to last May, we're down 6%. Unit sales are down 20% compared to the same time last year. The good news here is that homes continue to sell, and they're selling at prices that are pretty good. Now, in the city, the life of Ryan continues, you might say, to use the old phrase. For those millennials, you'll have to look it up. Average price here in the city hovering around $428,000. You'll see that that's up almost 12% from last May. Unit sales, however, are down. Sorry, I have to back 35%, too close for my bifocals here. On average, 21, 22 days, a little over ask, and we have about 1.3 months of inventory. And this is the really important one. As always, there are homes that do not sell when they are listed. Anybody can list a house, not everybody can sell a house. That's why it's important to get a realtor like myself who has a plan, a selling formula. We can talk more about that at a different time. Now let's take a look at some of this data. It's interesting. Okay, so unit sales are down, but average price is up. What's going on here, Jeff? Well, let's dive in and take a little closer look at the numbers. Unit sales are down. Well, here's one of the reasons why. Last May, 256 new listings in the month of May. This May, only 182. That's about a 29% decrease. So that accounts for a huge chunk of our 35% decrease in unit sales. So that's good to know. So it's not that something untoward is happening in the marketplace. There are just fewer homes to buy, and buyers are being even more picky now about what they're going to buy. In fact, I have buyers right now. I can tell you they have missed out on a couple houses because of multiple offers, but we keep looking because they're in a position where they're renting and they can wait to buy the house that makes sense to them. So that's what's going on in our market. Buyers are becoming a little more cautious, not the right word. Buyers are just waiting for the right house to buy and not buying as part of a frenzy. So that's good to know. Now, let's take a look at some serious number comparison here. as we look from last May, right here, we can see 192 units sold. On average, they listed at $352,000, sold for $380,000, so that's a difference of about $28,000. Took on average about 11 days to sell one of these houses, and this difference between $352,000 and $380,000 works out to 108%. Now this year in May, fewer listings, so we've got fewer sales, 128 units sold compared to the 192 last. $416 the average list price, so this has come up a long way from $352, but the sale price, which is also up quite a ways from $380, but we don't have that huge gap. Right now we're only about a $10,000 gap between list and sale price, and this is the big one, right? Buyers are being more judicious about what they're going to buy, and so homes are taking a little longer to sell, actually a lot longer to sell, double from 11 days to 22 days. But I can tell you, 18 months to 2 years ago, if we sold a house in 22 days, we were pretty happy. That was going pretty well. But in our current conditions, yes, it is taking longer. The good news is that homes continue to sell, and that's the important thing to remember. People are talking about some interesting things in our marketplace, and I think sometimes with the media, who just look for the big headline or don't dig down and tell you the difference that, for example, when our board reports the numbers, they're reporting the numbers for the whole county, not numbers specifically for the city. And so that's why it's important to understand what you're reading or hearing on the television news or the radio news. And if you ever have questions about what's going on in the Peterborough real estate market, you know who to call. Geoff White. I sell residential income and waterfront property here in Peterborough and the Kawarthas. Until next time, remember, life is good and getting better.